Hello, everybody. Hope you all had a nice long weekend. I just wanted to make this video, and you're probably seeing it because I got my second COVID vaccine, which is very exciting to see some light at the end of the tunnel here. But also potentially feeling some side effects. So just wanted to make this for you to go over our Unit 2 summative that you'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to be working on. So as we know, we've been in the geography unit. So you guys are going to put all of your geography knowledge to the test here. So here's our scenario of what you're doing. You have a friend from overseas, and this friend is going to be from one of the two countries that you researched at the start of this unit when you looked at norms and culturegrams and stuff like that. So your friend from overseas from one of your two countries you'll pick that you looked at is looking for a new adventure and decides to spice up their life by moving to a city in the United States. Your friend has never been to the United States and does not know about the pros and cons of different cities and their histories. So you're going to help out your friend by making a trifold brochure that overviews some information. So if you look here, I gave you really specific instructions as to what to cover. I also gave you a template. So you're going to be making this on paper is the ideal format, or if you want to use Canva, that's okay, but doing an actual trifold on paper is kind of the ideal method. Okay, so don't actually write on here and use this as your actual product to turn in, because it's not going to fit all your information and the formatting is going to look bad and messy. But this is just to show you, like, when you make your actual pamphlet on paper, this is kind of the format it should take. So, right, you see a page on the title of your city, you see a page on basic facts, you see a page on push-pull factors, population details, specialty, and norms. Okay, so here are the specifics of what you are to include on each page. First, we need our attractive cover. So simply, you just need a picture of your city, the name of your city, and your name. Then the second page is going over basic facts. So what's the size of your population? How many people live in your city? Give the location of your state and the region it's in. So is it like Midwest, Pacific Northwest, etc.? And then geographic features. So for example, is it by any mountains, lakes, maybe some of the natural resources that are available around your city. Okay, so now here's where you're going to do some more independent research. So you're going to identify 3 push factors and 3 pull factors. So example, what are some things that are pushing people away from your city? Maybe some negative things about your city. So this could be, crime rates, environmental problems, high cost of living. So you can use that cost of living calculator again, unemployment. 3 pull factors, so things that bring people to your city. So what are some good things that are some pros about your city? So maybe there's certain jobs, like if you're in California, you might have a lot of tech jobs or something in Silicon Valley. Tourist attractions, low cost of living, maybe the weather could be. But you need to give specific evidence. So you can't just say, the weather's nice here. You should cite evidence that says the average temperature in Tallahassee is 75 degrees. Okay, page 4 is population details. So you're going to go over the immigration history. So look at what groups came in. So for example, Milwaukee has a really big German population. So you can talk about, if you're doing Milwaukee, there was a really big German population. Then we had a lot of migration in the 70s with the Great Migration of African Americans coming from the south to the north. Then you can talk about now we have more Hispanic and Hmong American populations moving in. So kind of just give an overview of the different patterns of immigration for your city. And then also the demographic makeup. So what is the current ethnic and racial composition of your city? So for example, I'm just spitting out numbers here. This is definitely not accurate, right? So Milwaukee's 50% African American and 30% this, right? So give your current demographic makeup of your city and what percentage each ethnic group makes up of your city. Then for the 5th page, so this is kind of build a nation. So you get to be a little creative here. So think about what your city is known for. So my example is that Naples is known for their pizza. And then we're going to bring it back to economics, and I want you to think about the factors of production that go into making this specialty. So, for example, maybe some of the human capital that goes in is going to culinary school and having the skill that was passed down by your family. Maybe some of the physical stuff goes in. You need, a pizza oven. You need, like a little pizza cutter, all that stuff, right? So think about how all that goes into making your specialty. So kind of do some research into what your city's known for. Right? Chicago's known for deep dish pizza or Italian beef or whatever. So think about that. All right. Now we've got our last main page is norms. So this is where you're going to connect it back to the countries that you were studying at the beginning of this unit. So remember, you're writing this brochure for the perspective of trying to help your friend find a place to live in a city they want to move to. So your friend, pick one of the 2 cities that you researched at the beginning of this unit, and then that will be the city that your friend is from. So now I want you to talk about how their culture is similar to the city you're researching and how their culture is different. So compare them. You can use culturegrams for this. Might be a good website to use. And if you can't find stuff specific to your city, you can do more in general, like comparing their country to the United States in general, or at least like your region in general. Okay. And then just discuss and name 3 norms and how they compare to that of your friend's culture. So you should have at least 3 different norms that you are talking about that exist for your country or their country and comparing them. All right. Then finally, if you look at our template, we know that there's 6 different pages. So the citation page isn't going to fit on your actual brochure. So you can just submit a separate citation page. You can even turn this in online rather than doing a hard copy printed out. And remember, this should be MLA citations. It is not enough to just turn in a link to your source. You're not going to get full points. So, and of course, we know this is really important with academic honesty. You need to have accurate citations, or else you could get flagged for plagiarism, and no one wants that because you could get that referral and potentially have to miss out on your sports season and have that on your record. So here's an example that Miss Barnes actually made that she did from Milwaukee. So you can take a look at that. Very nice. And of course, right, she didn't have room for the citations on hers, so she just added a separate sheet. And you see, she actually organized it by the different pages, which is a good idea to do. And again, proper MLA citation, you'll get 5 out of 5 points for that one. Okay. So when it comes to doing your research, we know that Gale is always the best place to start. So 1, it's going to give you good sources, and 2, it actually makes your life easier because all you have to do is copy the MLA citation from Gale. You don't have to make it yourself. So here's some recommendations when it comes to searching on Gale. So I actually put some step-by-step information on how to access that there. And if the specific kind of collection on Gale that's helpful, it's called Jeffrey Muir City of the United States. And this has entries on a bunch of different cities throughout the United States. So how I'd recommend finding this resource is if you go to advanced search, you type in your city that you want to do, and then in the next search keyword box, type in Jeffrey Muir, and you see my example here. Then you will probably find the entry on your city in this Cities of the United States. And this gives a lot of good information. Another good place to find things like the demographic makeup and more statistics on your city, maybe like crime rates and whatnot, is citydata.com. And then for the norm portion, like I said, using culturegrams is a good place to start. So these are 3 great sources you can use. And our rubric is on Canvas. So when you look at this module, it'll be attached to it. Basically, each page is 5 points. The cover is 3 points, and then everything else, each page, push and pull each are 5 points, so that's 10 points total. Each page otherwise is 5 points, including the citation page is also 5 points. So this is 38 points. Big summative. Remember, these are 70% of your grade. So put the work in and you'll do great. And I should be able to answer any questions if you want to email me or message me on Google Hangouts, hopefully. All right. Have a nice work day. See you, everybody.